When we think about history, it's always the kings, right? The emperors, the conquerors, their names are carved into statues and fill up our textbooks.
But what about the revolutionaries? So often, their stories, the ones that are truly breathtaking, they get buried. They're left in the silence, just waiting for someone to tell them.
Well, today, we're pulling one of those stories out into the light. This is The Explainer on the Rani of Jhansi Regiment, an impossible army of women that history tried to forget, and the two absolutely extraordinary figures who led them, Lakshmi Sahgal and Janaky Athi Nahappan.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Picture this. It's the 1940s. The entire world is engulfed in the flames of the Second World War. Empires are clashing, but right in the heart of it all, in Southeast Asia, something completely unheard of was about to be born from a powerful desire for freedom. Give me blood, and I promise you freedom. Can you imagine hearing those words? That was the electrifying call to action from Indian nationalist leader Subhas Chandra Bose in 1943. For thousands in the crowd that day, it was an incredible speech. But for two women, it wasn't just a speech. It was like a lightning bolt. It was the sound of destiny calling their name.
And just think about who answered this call. I mean, they couldn't have been more different. On one hand, you have Lakshmi Sahgal. She's an established doctor, seeing suffering every single day. And she realized, that patching up physical wounds wasn't enough. She had to fight the disease of oppression itself. And then you have Janaky Athi Nahappan, just a teenager. Her heart was absolutely set on fire by idealism and this overwhelming need to do something.
So from that single spark of inspiration, something rose up that the world had literally never seen before. A revolution, not just for a country, but a revolution in what it meant to be a woman, what it meant to be courageous. This was the Rani of Jhansi Regiment. Let that sink in for a second. Asia's very first all-female combat unit. Its creation sent this bold, defiant message, not just to the British Empire, but to the entire world. And that message was loud and clear. The fight for freedom belongs to everyone. Courage has no gender.
But, saying you're going to form an army is one thing. Actually becoming soldiers, that's a whole other story. Their path was forged through incredible hardship. It started with grueling discipline, endless marches, drills, day in and day out. Then came the pain, rifles feeling impossibly heavy, muscles screaming. And of course there was constant doubt, whispering in their ears that this was impossible. But through it all, they found a shared resolve that was stronger than anything, and that's what turned them into soldiers.
You are not here to follow history. You are here to create it. I am not weak. I just need to become stronger.
And wow, did they become stronger. Before they knew it, the sweat and dust of the training grounds gave way to the mud and blood of a real war, as the regiment was sent right into the dense, unforgiving jungles of the Burma campaign.
It all kicked off with so much hope in 1944 as they advanced into Burma, but they were soon thrown into the sheer horror of jungle warfare. And they weren't just facing enemy soldiers, they were facing disease, starvation, constant shelling. By 1945, that hopeful advance had turned into a brutal, desperate retreat. I mean, war was no longer some abstract idea. It was their everyday life. Hunger wasn't just a feeling, it was a constant companion. Fear, mud, death, these were the things they woke up to and went to sleep with every single day. And right in the middle of it all, Captain Lakshmi led by example, treating wounded soldiers under enemy fire, becoming this incredible symbol of unbreakable strength.
I am afraid, but I will not run.
And this right here. This was the fire that forged Janaky from an idealistic young girl into a seasoned soldier. But here's the hard truth. Courage doesn't always guarantee victory. The army was pushed back. Captain Lakshmi was captured. The dream? It looked like it was completely shattered. But here's the twist. Defeat is almost never the end of the story. For these women, their greatest impact was actually yet to come.
Because when the guns of World War II finally went silent, their personal fights were far from over. In fact, this is where their true, lasting legacy was really forged, in the war after the war.
See, this is what's so amazing. Their real victory wasn't on the battlefield. Captain Lakshmi might have lost that battle in Burma, but she returned to India and won a lifelong war for our people, fighting for healthcare and social justice for decades. And soldier Janaky? She went back to Malaya and became a fierce champion for women's rights and dignity. They lost a military campaign, but they won a legacy that has lasted for generations.
So, when you really look at it, they weren't just soldiers in some forgotten conflict. No way. They were pioneers, absolute trailblazers. They proved, beyond any doubt, that courage, leadership, and strength have nothing to do with gender. They didn't just follow history, they got out there and created it.
Which really leaves you with one final thought, doesn't it? Their incredible story was almost completely lost to time. It really makes you wonder, what other stories of unbelievable courage have we forgotten, and what could we learn from them